What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the East of Stretford podcast. I nearly just forgot what our podcast name was. It took me like a second to remember it. But as usual, we have Karthik and Vishnu with us. What up, boys?
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Good to see you guys again.
So Vishnu has asked me at the start of each podcast to tell you what we do and remind you what we do. So we're a United fan channel. We talk all things United, and we're just a bunch of three fuckboys who like to discuss Man United shit and yell at the TV while we're talking to each other. So that's what we do. If you enjoy that shit, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like us, share us on all platforms, and that would be amazing. Vishnu, is that good?
That sounds good. That's perfect intro, man. Let's get it started.
Sounds good.
All right.
Good,
so today, thank you. But today we're talking. Is Ollie at the wheel? Do we trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with the war chest of the next two transfer windows that are going to be coming in? Do we trust him to move forward? Do we move with opposing managers that are in the debate? There's Allegri. There's Pochettino. What do we do? And I want to start off with Vishnu. Over this, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been in charge for about a little bit over a year, 12, 13 months. How would you assess how he's done in total?
Oh, man. I think I'm right off the top of my head. I'm just going to start with some statistics as well, because I think let's talk about him being the permanent manager, because I feel like the interim manager part will kind of skew the variables a little bit. Ollie's been in charge for, I think, about 300 plus days, just a little less than a year. He's not had the greatest of luck in terms of player injuries and things like that, which happens. It's always part of the game. But when we think about the statistical mind of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I feel like he does lack a lot of experience playing in the big stage, because this is his first stint in the Premier League since Malmo, was it? He was the head coach of Malmo, if I'm not wrong. And so it is like a big step up. It's heavy shoes to fill. He hasn't, in my opinion, personal opinion, he hasn't done that well as I'd expect him to. And right after the Burnley game, his stats read 11 wins and 12 losses after becoming the permanent manager, which is worrying in the long term. But as a whole as well, in all competitions, he's won 20 games. He has 11 draws and 16 losses, which is, again, a very worrying statistic, because not a lot of managers get away with draws, but 16 losses is quite troublesome. So I'm not sure. I would give him at least this winter transfer to see what goes on in his head, and how. I think he did come out to the press and say that he does have the last word in signing a player at the end of the day. So he is stamping his authority in a good, positive way, but I'm not entirely sure, lads. I think we'd give him this winter transfer, hoping that the Glazer family and everyone agrees to his terms and see the players he brings, and we'll assess again in 6 months.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Karthik, what do you think? How do you think he's done so far?
See, dude, Vishnu's got all the stats, so kind of makes sense. I mean, when you think of it just in terms of stats, I get it. But I don't know, man. I'm probably one of those. I feel like even the fans are really divided right now, and they don't know how to feel, whether to back Ollie or not. But for me, I'm backing Ollie all the way, because I feel like what he's brought into this team, and what I've also said earlier. So I was looking at the stats from yesterday's FA Cup game against Tranmere and the stats against Burnley. And apart from the goal scored, the stats are, dude, extremely almost identical. The amount of chances we created, the shots on target, the passes played, So I just feel like the football is there. And maybe I agree that Ollie is not completely a tactical genius just yet compared to Klopp or Pep or whatever. But I feel like he's also growing with this team, man. And, and the way he's been dealing with all this controversy around him. I mean, think about how Mourinho dealt with pressure, dude. Like he just completely broke in front of the media, and you can see like Ollie's got that. You know, he knows what he wants, and he knows he's got a realistic goal setting, is what I feel it is, and I feel like that's what we need right now. And also like bringing in, let's say if we end up okay, let's say Ollie gets sacked by the end of the season, but he's already implemented a style of football, and now if Poch comes in, I don't know, man. I just think it's gonna get a whole lot confusing, and I really do not. I mean, no offense to Arsenal fans, but I really do not want to be the next. Like, it's gonna be just fucking 10 years of just not knowing what sort of football we play anymore. But right now, I think that's what's important right now. And yeah, the results are always worrying, but I think we should definitely give him another season. Like, this shouldn't be his last season, regardless of what the outcome is.
Yeah, dude. I think very similarly. I think you know, the problems start with the Glaziers and Ed Woodward. Like,
Yeah,
it is
bro.
ridiculous that Ed Woodward still has a job in any company. Like, if you guys, spent your budget completely and it all turned out to be shit, you would get fired because you're not doing a good enough job. Now, if you are the fucking executive VP of Manchester United, which is a public company, and you've spent a total of 700 million or whatever that ridiculous stat is, and I was watching another video that said 500 million of that is not at the club. So Lukaku, not at the club. Radamel Falcao, not at the club. Angel Di Maria, not at the club. Like, it's ridiculous. He's just fucked up, so much. He gave Jones an extension. He gave Smalling an extension. Like, the kind of basic errors, like the fact that we still have, Jones on the team, for last night, you saw he was struggling against Tranmere. Yeah, he scored a goal.
Bro.
But he's not even on their fucking level.
Dude, he was so surprised when he scored the goal. He was just like, what do I do now? I'm not used to being in this position. Like, so fuck, yeah. I mean, good for him. Still United lad. Yeah.
Adding a little bit on your thoughts, Arman, you guys probably heard that we got a new PR rep or something. You heard about this?
Yeah, from the Sun.
I didn't hear about it.
Think of that. Is that true?
Basically, what someone, I forgot who was reporting, is that Ed Woodward has hired someone from the Sun to be his personal PR rep because he's gotten so much shit PR.
Yeah.
Every stadium, every game, we either not filling out as a protest, and the fans are singing like "fuck Woodward" and "let's keep Ollie." So. Dude, Woodward is just like no manager. You can bring in fucking Pep Guardiola. Yes, he will do more with this group of players because he's a great fucking manager. But he's not gonna do this team is still shit. This team is shittier than Jose had. That's my thing. We may have more losses and we may not be at the same points total as we were last year. We may have been more, whatever. Part of that is because Oli went on that amazing run. So that's why our points total was higher. But, Vishnu, do you think that we've progressed under Ole as further than Jose? Because I think if Jose was here, like Karthik, you were saying, the statistics against Burnley were we had 72% possession and 24 shots. If that was Jose, Vishnu, dude, we would have been 46% possession and fucking trying to counterattack against a Burnley. I think we have progressed.
No, completely agree because I think the only now that you think about it and the way that Jose has just completely left our club in the shits. The only thing that attracted a lot of players to come to Man United was Jose Mourinho. That was because of his history in his past. But look at him now. He's at Spurs. He's not able to sign anyone. He's in the bottom of he's in the bottom of the top 10, top 20 managers list. He's still a good manager. He's still he's a good
manager.
I think he's still got half the brain to compete.
He hasn't adapted to the 21st century. He's still playing Didier Drogba football, knock the ball long and hope Harry Kane does something. That's why, dude, they have a 10 times better squad than United and they're fucking up worse.
Easily.
10 times better squad. And
Yeah.
fucking Frank Lampard. I hate how the media is all like, "Oh, Frank is doing so
Yeah.
good." Blah blah. Dude, the
He's,
squad that
I
Chelsea
don't,
have is 10 times better.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a question. It's not a
But
question. So I
do you think that's the thing though? Do you think that like because of how the Glazers and how Ed Woodward is, do you think this is gonna let Solskjaer down at the end of the year?
Yeah, dude, they're hanging him out to dry.
I
Like,
mean,
he's such an easy excuse.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
What do you think, Arthur? Like, don't you think so? It's like even like I think on the other day as well, like
It's pretty fucked up, dude. Like if this is one of those things where they're just waiting for Ollie to like just give up, and this is just some weird fucking, because it doesn't make any sense to me otherwise. Like, why the fuck haven't we still like made a fucking buy, dude? We have literally what, 4 days left to go? I don't even know, like, in the transfer window. It's less than a week, and we have nothing yet, bro. And I just feel like, it's time that Woodward actually, like, we need to make sure that we back Ollie through this, because that's what the fans are doing, and make sure that we make our voices heard as much as if Woodward even cares to begin with. But I think this is the only way to, like, make sure that Ollie stays, because the moment Ollie gives up, dude, he's getting the sack, because it was obvious even with Mourinho, like, especially after I think just before the Liverpool game too, it was kind of obvious that Mourinho had started giving up on this team. Like, he kept
Yeah.
like being very negative about the team, and so I just feel like the moment Ollie goes in that direction, and I hope they're not just waiting for him to, they're not setting him up for failure, which would just be so shitty. But yeah, man, like, I just think I'm gonna back Ollie through this. We need buys, and Woodward needs to get the fuck out. Like, I don't see this.
He really needs to get the fuck out, because, again, he has done such a shit job, and any other person in any other company would be fucking fired. He's just gotten good short-term revenues for United. But the problem is, he's fucking us over long term, because if you think about it, none of the kids grow up being United fans anymore. Our generation, like, one of the reasons we're all United fans is because they were fucking killing it in the 90s and killing it in 2000s
Yeah.
when we were growing up starting to watch. Now all the kids are Liverpool and Man City, like Real Madrid, whatever it is, like, and United's revenues later is going to drop globally. Man United will always have people in Manchester.
Yeah.
But even the kids in Manchester may support Manchester City now. So, like, it'll slowly divide.
Yeah.
I myself know a couple of dickheads who, like, completely switched over to City. The moment, like, City's fucking good run started, like when they were bought and stuff, and there was this whole new revamp. Like, I know a person who came and gave me the United jersey and said that, yeah, I don't do this anymore. I still have that jersey, so I'm like, fuck you. But yeah, like, this has happened, guys. But it could happen. Like, if Manchester goes blue, bro, yeah.
Dude, revenues will get affected anyways. So that
Yeah.
just shows that Ed Woodward is so, and even that's the thing about Jose. He was so short term, and which is why I love Ollie. He never makes a decision for himself. He always makes it for the club. Jose brought in Alexis Sanchez. That was the biggest selfish fucking move he ever could have made, because it's like, I need to save my ass for now because I'm losing games. I'm gonna pay this guy £500,000 a week. That ruined the wage structure, and that was a Jose signing.
Yeah.
Which
Ollie
was
would never do that.
Yeah,
We're
but
still paying for that. He's sitting on the bench in Inter Milan, and we're still
paying it.
paying for
Still
that.
paying.
I think it's about 300,000 pounds a week. But for him to just warm the bench in another club, he's not even sitting in our bench, and it's really disheartening to see. Like, I think Jose and Ed Woodward combined destruction, path of destruction, has kind of brought us to where we are right now.
We just need people who believe in this team, man. I think that's why we're also backing Ollie, because it's good to see someone who's got, some history with United kind of like take over the team. Agreed, he doesn't have the class that or the experience that, a lot of the other men have. And I'm pretty sure anyone would die for his job right now, like, like, to be in a position like this. But, I think we should just back Ollie. I know we can get better managers. It's not like we cannot get a better manager, but I mean, I'm just being emotional maybe, but it's nice to, like, at least he believes in United, man. And no one has. Woodward definitely doesn't care about United. it's evident. It's all business for him, even though he's doing a shitty job, even on that end of it.
He's the highest paid executive in the league. You know
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Yeah.
United have the fourth highest wage bill in European football.
Yeah.
So like
That's
he's
it.
obviously fucked up like too many times, and I think the biggest fuck up for me is also uh, we went from David Moyes, who is counter-attacking, very defensively based manager. Then we went to Louis van Gaal, who's Barcelona style, trying to play beautiful football. So we bought players like that for like Daley Blind,
Yeah.
Angel Di Maria. We bought players like that. Then we went back to Jose Mourinho, which is back to this old shitty style of football, counter-attacking, whatever. And now finally we're going back to progressing. So we've got like a mixture of four different philosophies. That's why you need a director of football, because they pick the philosophy and they say, this is how we're going to play football. And we're only going to buy players according to that and see if he fits in, the manager's system. But look, okay, let's say we do have to, we go through a bunch of losses. We're starting to look elsewhere. What managers should we be thinking about if Oli was to leave? Who would potentially be an alternative? Vishnu, go ahead.
For me, honestly, just like two main managers come to mind. I think Allegri is one good choice to have.
Yeah.
Allegri, but again, he's not like you just talked about it. Like we'll be falling back into the same football that we've been kind of caught up in, and
Exactly.
but you never know, because like I'm also pro Oli. I really want him to be the stay at the club as the longest time possible, but I do feel like his clock has just
Guys, one sec. Sorry, we gotta stop. There's a lot of like background noise right now. Is it me?
Oh
or
yeah.
like,
Is it me?
I don't
Because
know.
I can't
now.
hear anything. It's probably
It's fine
me.
now. It's fine now.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay.
Okay, restart on that. Keep going where you were.
Okay. So yeah, I think that Allegri would be a good option as well because of his exposure, his experience in the sport, and his ability to still attract some of the biggest signings. I'm not entirely sure. You can never say with Manchester United how managers are going to fare. It's kind of like a cursed job at this point, since Lord Ferguson had has left our club. It's been pretty tough on us, but Allegri would be a good option. I think he'd attract some good players. I can't think of anyone else at this point in time. I always wanted beforehand, before the whole saga, the whole manager saga, I really wanted Diego Simone.
No, fuck that, dude. That's Jose 2.0.
But he just seems like he's got so much passion, bro. But it's true.
But I just feel like that is true.
Bro, with Oli, I love watching our games. We may lose, but I actually enjoy it, dude. Like, I'm having fun, which is an important thing. With Jose, I hated watching our games, but I still did. But I fucking hated it. So
because Solskjaer's like Ole is just like a little fanboy, isn't he, of Zone? You could see when he scores, when Mason Greenwood scores, or someone like from the youth scores, like Brandon Williams scores well, he gets these delight in his eyes. Like, you just have to smile. Like it's so evident.
You should have seen when Lingard scored, dude. Like he was so happy. I was just like, I was happy too, but still, also the keeper was really shitty. I don't think it was any other game. Lingard would have been closed down so quickly by like. It was an easy game, to be honest, but whatever. But good one. But
but I think there's a bunch of other cool shouts. To be honest, I think Poch obviously is a great shout. He built, he's built Spurs. He did an insane job with Spurs, like absolutely just on nobody. He spent 30 million, like somewhere between 30 and 50 million, because they bought in his last season. But I think Julian Nagelsmann, if we could steal him from RB Leipzig. The way RB Leipzig play football is insane. He can do it he's doing it with youth. He can do it on a shoestring budget. I would love Julian Nagelsmann, but I don't think he would leave. They're competing for the Bundesliga, and we're competing for fifth place.
Also, they're in the Champions League.
Huh?
Also, they're in the Champions League, aren't they?
Yes. So But I think that kind of discussion just proves again like there's nobody clear. So we should obviously just back Ollie until the rest. In my opinion, back him at least till the summer. If he spends big and fucks up after the summer, then unfortunately, then it is probably time to move on. But it's too early, like to just not. We haven't given him anything. We've given Wan-Bissaka and Maguire. That's it. So I don't know. He's been working off his shoestring.
He's been
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I just thought of something. You know who else would be a really interesting manager for us? And this is because I really like the way Wolves play. But it's Nuno, bro. Like I think Nuno has like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's tactically just brilliant. Like the way he prepares for every game, he knows exactly how to. It's always a hard game against Wolves for any team. Like it's not just for us, but even for Liverpool, even for City, like it hasn't been easy games for them. So I feel like, and that too, agreed, the players they have now, like Adama and Neves and Jimenez and all of them, like he's made them what they are because of the football they've played, right? I mean, let's be honest. So I feel like, if Nuno is someone who can probably even come into a young with a little experience and kind of like, do something with it. But anyway, that's a massive what if. But I'm still backing Ollie for this, so I would not.
What about so just a wild shout out here? We've been giving away all our players to Inter Milan. What if we just steal
what the fuck is happening there, bro?
Just steal their fucking manager. Let's just steal their manager.
I hate
Conte.
Dude, I
hate
Antonio Conte just like I hate Jose Mourinho. Just like I didn't want Jose to come in. I think Antonio Conte is the same way, dude. He just like, he strangles the players and then they begin to hate him after 2 years because he's like taken the life out of them. I think like, dude, that's why Klopp is amazing and Pep is amazing and even Zidane is amazing because all those guys will die for that manager, dude.
Yeah.
And I feel like they could for Solskjaer, but I don't know. I am very hopeful that he stays, and I really, really want him to be successful because he gets so much shit from the media when Frank Lampard is hailed as this like next great manager when he has a 10 times better squad and is losing shitty games to Southampton that just lost to Leicester 9-0.
Barely won against Hull.
Won against Hull. Like he has a great squad. Like I don't know. So I think we're kind of all at the same page, except for Vishnu. I think you're a little bit more all than Karthik and I.
Yeah,
that's not true. That's not what I meant. No,
Vishnu,
I was gonna.
A stats guy,
I was gonna
bro.
make. The stats guru of the group. So.
That's fair.
No, good that there's a great point that you made about mentioning Klopp. When we compare both like Klopp and Pep as well, who are on the top of the league right now, Pep did kind of. I know the style of football he brought in and stuff has been phenomenal. It's been great to watch. But shout out to Klopp because like I think Klopp came to Liverpool when they were really, really down, and he did have enough time. I don't think he won any cups in the first 2 years of him being in charge. And
he lost in the Europa League final against Dortmund.
I remember that as well. And the players he's got as well, they've stuck with him. They've grown with him in the last 2-3 years. You've seen like Salah was part of that squad, wasn't he? When Klopp had first adopted it, or did he bring in Salah?
I don't remember, but I think it took a year before he brought in Salah.
Yeah. Firmino was there, Mane was there. You had like all these. The only thing he's brought in heavily is on the defense side because like they did need it. But you've seen him like build a squad over like 3 years, and I feel like Ole should just be given the same opportunity. Just be like, you know what, like we love your vision. I think the fans do back him more than anyone else as well right now, and let's see where we go.
Dude, you can't be half in and half out with a manager. You can't be like, dude, I'll give you a little bit, and like if you perform insanely well, then we'll keep you. It's impossible. Nobody would perform. And I think the point you made was good that Liverpool and Man City, they both have great organizations around them. Like think about Liverpool's recruitment. Alexander-Arnold. Nobody knew who the fuck. Nobody knew who the fuck Alexander-Arnold was. what's his name? Andy Robertson came from Hull for like 7 million. Firmino was a very cheap buy. Mane was a known player in Southampton, but not like insanely great. They were like, okay, he's pretty good, but not insane. Salah just failed at Chelsea. Now then came in and like nearly won the Ballon d'Or. Like he's taken these players and he's made them next level, but the recruitment was also beautiful for him to do that. Like they found it, and they just bought Minamino.
Virgil van Dijk. Like what
Virgil
a
van
buy.
Dijk.
I know
What a
they
buy.
did pay a lot of money, but then like
Bro,
what a buy, what an opportune buy.
this is such an and this is such an interesting point, dude, because like if he like when Klopp got these players too, it was at the right time, you know. And now if you look at us right now, we just gave up on Haaland and he's gone to fucking Dortmund and he's going to within like 60 minutes of game time. 5 goals.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dude.
Like
he was bought for 20
and he's
million.
the kind of striker, and he's exactly the kind of striker we needed. You know, he kind of even plays like Ollie, like he's just there, right place, right time, getting those rebounds. Because we have no one who's got that kind of composure in front of goal. And you know, and he would have been such a good buy. It would have been an easy buy, but yeah, we missed out, man. Again, that would have been phenomenal. I think
that's the board. That's recruitment. That's the organization, which is just run so poorly. And you know, for a club of United size, it's just unforgivable to be run that poorly. You know, so I think we're all at the same page, and we should probably come to a close here because I think we've kind of said it. We need the Glazers to back Ollie. We need Ed Woodward to back Ollie, and we need also for Ed Woodward to be out of a fucking job because that man is fucking a piece of shit.
ASAP, bro. Yeah, that's enough.
ASAP.
I also think another thing, I mean, to whoever's listening to us as well, like I think the only thing keeping Ollie in right now are the fans, and so I think we should keep backing him, dude, because I mean, I think that's the reason why the board is holding on to him, because I think that would be like a huge, like, if they end up sacking Ollie within this season especially, then I think there's going to be like a lot of backlash to that. So I think we should, make sure that we keep doing what we do and back Ollie, dude.
Yeah, and he's kind of backed it up as well. He's like, you know, you've seen like the Louis van Gaals and the Mourinhos when they're like struggling and stuff. They've been blaming everyone else. They've been blaming the Glazer. Like, all right, we've talked a lot of shit about the Glazer family and Ed Woodward today, but like what Mourinho does and like what Van Gaal did was say that we're not getting any support for them. We're not getting this. That's why I'm not performing. So it's kind of they're trying to defend themselves more than anything else, which is kind of shitty. When you saw like Ole, I think in the post match or something against Burnley, where he goes like, it's easy to blame everyone else. We're in this together. It's so easy to just pinpoint and be like, yo, you know what? I'm not getting the support. And this is a indirect sort of dig at the transfers we're not able to make at this moment. It's so easy to say that, but then like Ole just came out and said, you know what? Like I'm in here for the long haul. I'm a United fan and everything else. More than this is the best club in the world, and he keeps repeating this. And this is the kind of like person you need to back, like not a nobody who just comes in and says, you know what, this has been my dream. You see all these managers who come in, and every time they come in, they're like, you know what, I've always wanted to coach. I've always been a big fan of Manchester United, and so shut the fuck up.
Dude, that's what Alexis Sanchez said in his interview when he first joined Man United.
He's just like, where the fuck did that come from?
We're paying you 500K. That's what.
Exactly.
No shit. Came and played the fucking piano and shit in Old Trafford. I'm like, the fuck are you doing, bro?
It's insane, dude. Greenwood has more goals than him. But I think regardless of whatever happens, I want to end on this point is that if a new manager comes in, they'll come in for the better because Ollie's been super unselfish. He's created a culture where you have to love playing for United or you're fucking gone. Even if you're a player of Romelu Lukaku's status, like if you don't love being here, get the fuck out. Pogba, it's the same thing. It'll be the same. You want to leave? Okay, fine, dude. We can replace you. He's created that culture, which is so important for United, where, again, when Jose was here, it was like players, top, club here. Now it's like club here, players, we're gonna come in and fit this system. So I think, whoever comes in will benefit, and the future will benefit from, Ollie being at the club.
Fuck yeah, bro. Ollie at the wheel.
Ollie at the wheel. All right,
Tell me how
everybody.
does it
Nice.
feel?
Sorry.
Tell me how
It
did
sounds good, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it even sounds good, if nothing. Like,
Got a good ring to it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
All
boys. Yeah, it's time for me to go to bed. I'm very fucking
Of
sleepy.
course.
Thank you,
Okay,
everybody, for
quick
tuning in.
shout out, quick thing. What's your predictions? United City. That's who
Oh
we're playing.
shit!
Really good
Right,
game.
big
Oh,
game.
I think we're
Yeah,
gonna start
yeah,
this
yeah.
game up.
Yeah.
We'll have a scoreboard or something going on, and yeah. What do you guys
You know
think?
what? I'm
In
not
Etihad.
joking. I want to take this. I think that I had kind of like this dream that we won the game.
Oh
And
shit! We have the
I had-
fucking oracle, bro. Oh
Dude,
my
dude,
god.
I just have a good feeling about the shit. I thought we were gonna beat PSG. I have a good feeling about this, and I think that we're gonna like go 2-0 or something like that, and we're gonna go to penalties, and I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win. I don't know. I just have a good feeling.
I
Karthik,
like that feeling, bro. I like
What was
that
the-
feeling.
What was the first leg score again? 1-3, was it?
3-1. Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah. So then 2-0 we would. 2-0 we wouldn't
Yeah,
go.
we would.
We'd
Wait,
No,
lose.
we
wait,
would go
are
to
we-
penalties.
Are we away or are
We need 2
home?
goals.
We're away. We're going away.
We're away.
So if we do
Oh.
like draw, like City go through because on away goals.
Is it away goals even in the Carabao Cup?
Oh, I'm
I
not
I
sure.
actually don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
I think.
fine. If it's
Alright.
3, then we'll win. We'll do 3-1, and we'll
Yeah.
make it to penalties, and we'll fucking win in penalties.
Mhm.
Karthik, what's your
Great.
thought?
I would love that, dude. You know I'm the most idealistic person here. I mean, why wouldn't I go with that prediction? I'm going with 2-0 to United.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Vishnu.
Yeah. You always put me on the spot on these things.
Yeah.
You asked this
Just do
question.
it. Just say it.
Hunter.
No, I mean like okay, because you guys have like gone for it. Like it's okay. I think it's gonna be 2-1 to United.
So you think we're getting out? Asshole.
Okay.
We're gonna
You
win,
got it.
but I think we're gonna get knocked out. Do you know what I mean?
I love it. I love.
I think that's fair. I could see going to the wire.
I think it'll be like a tense last 10 minutes or something, and never know. But we don't have
As long
Rashford.
as we give them a good fight, guys, I don't give a fuck because they have like a significantly better team than we do. So I honestly,
very, very significant.
yeah. So as long as you give them a good fight, I don't care. But yeah, I think we have the heart. We've shown the heart. So hopefully that translates into something. And we do this shit, bro. We're united. We do these random, like out of nowhere, like even under Mourinho, we pulled out that 3-2 win against City out of our asses. Like,
We
what
had
the
Pogba
fuck?
and Lukaku.
Exactly.
Smalling,
But,
Chris Smalling with a header.
yeah. We should have kept
But we-
Smalling and fucking given away to him.
We have Lionel Maguire now, so he
Yeah.
offered him a trend.
Yeah.
Bro. Oh shit. That goal. No one saw that coming. Fucking
Follow
slap
Jones.
head.
Let's go.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right.
All right. Well, then that
All
was a
right,
good
boys.
conversation, but we'll
Yeah.
end there. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like the video, share this fucking video, and yeah, stay tuned for our upcoming videos.
All right,
Peace out.
guys. Sitting out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.